Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome again to Snacks Thoughts. I say welcome again to Snacks Thoughts. And what's my thought on this podcast? My thought on this podcast, I'm going to call this supply, shortages, and demand. Or maybe I should put it supply, demand, and shortages. And, what am I talking about? Well, everybody knows in economics that supply and demand go hand in hand. When you have a shortage of something, then that creates a demand. And then what happens is you have to follow up to supply it in order to meet that need. And so when you have an overage of something, demand goes down. So there's no need for as much supply. Anyway, what I'm thinking about is I'm looking at the shortages with these vaccinations, and I'm not saying this is just my personal opinion or personal take, but the crazy part about it is that when they shut down these economies and they force people to stay home and obviously wear masks, they rushed us, to take this COVID-19 vaccination. And I myself, haven't taken it, and don't plan on it, But, this is what they intend to do, And so now, the states that seem to need it most, you have New York, obviously, that needs it bad. You have states like California, and there's others, But they rushed everybody, saying out of work to stay home. And they made claims that they had so many doses or batches ready for the general public to take. And now, all of a sudden, there's a shortage. We don't have enough in America. There's not enough in, say, UK or Europe and obviously other parts of the world. And so this is just my opinion and how I'm seeing it. I see it as, like this pandemic, I see it as a shortage being created to produce a demand that they are going to need to supply, So here's where I'm going. If you think about economics, basically, if you starve the people, of what they need, then what happens is that because there's so little of it, what happens, it becomes more valuable. And then in turn, they can charge more for it because it's in demand. And so my personal opinion, I believe that they've created a shortage, or I would believe to a certain degree, possibly holding back on producing enough of the vaccine so that it'll create a demand and they can drive the price up before they begin to mass circulate it to the population. I don't buy that companies or pharmaceutical companies are just gonna send a vaccine out, for cheap and that easy. I didn't buy that from the beginning, and it just seems that with the using the media with the mass hysteria and panic that they've created, they're stirring it up and playing on people's emotions. That's personally what I believe in, how I see it, because it just doesn't seem right, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it seems kind of fishy to me, that you promised that you had 1 million of it, and now all of a sudden you don't have enough of the vaccines. And understand something: when these big corporations or these governments want to get something done, believe it gets done. Just like they're basically going with this universal basic income. When they wanted to shut people's businesses down, and when they wanted to make everyone stay home, they did that immediately. It didn't take them overnight to do that. They put out the law and said, boom, this is the curfew, or everybody has to wear a mask, or stay home, and they closed everything down. It didn't take much. So you can't run it by me and tell me that pharmaceutical companies, that they can't mass produce a batch, and if they couldn't have done it, then they should have never leaked it out. But I believe the leak was done intentionally, to get the population stirred up and to drum up publicity, and then also to help make the public think that this vaccination is more valuable possibly than what it is, or to kind of starve the populations out to drive up demand for it, and then they can get a higher bid, on the price for it, and then give it to the populations, but they can sell it at a higher price. That's just my take on it, and if you really look at it, in the past and in history, think about it. Why is gold so precious? And because, it's so little of it, and it's hard to get. Now, I know that there's a lot more gold that hasn't been mined yet, but, there's much more, millions of grains of sand, for, maybe 1 ounce of gold. And I believe it's the same thing with this vaccination. I believe that they can do it. It'll make its way around, but they just they're gonna hold off and slow it down so they can try to get a higher bid on the price before they release it, to the mass populations. And I know that's might sound like a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I just don't buy it. These pharmaceutical companies, they've been in the game for a long time, and they know how this thing works. These pharmaceutical companies, they've been around for a long time, so they know how to mass produce, and they understand, supply lines. Did they have a problem, using guinea pigs for the Tuskegee Airmen? They didn't have a problem then. So when they want to shoot up populations, they can always find a way to get done what's needed to get done. For the military, when they wanted to shoot up the military as guinea pigs and give them those anthrax shots, did they have a problem with supply chain then? The answer is no. So if they want to get something done, they can get it done. But I believe this is all part of the Great Reset. Drive up, create a shortage, create a crisis, and then basically be the solution, to solve it. Stevie Wonder could see this. A blind man could see that something is fishy and that something's not right. There's just a little bit too much going on. You don't destroy the U.S. dollar like this, and then try to hurry up and create your own cryptocurrency or digital currency, and threaten to go after Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrency. You got to put it all together. This would be one heck of a coincidence, and I just can't. I don't buy that. I really don't. I don't buy that, but that's what I believe. But give them a little sample, of what they need. Just give them a little teaser. The same thing with the stimulus checks. Give them a little bit, but don't give them enough to be able to keep their bills and keep things running. Starve them out, make the people desperate, so that they'll need Big Brother. We're the wealthiest nation in the world. You telling me that we can't pay to get supply lines and vaccines in? If we want to get nuclear bombs and stuff like that built, what a coincidence that we have the money for these government contracts. How do we have the money all of a sudden? I'm talking about, and it don't take long, if we want to build a space force. We have money for what this government and the elites have money for what they want to do. And it is what it is, And I know that it sounds kind of cold and cruel that they would do that, but look what they've done already. Look at this economy. Bill Gates is the wealthy, owns the most farmland in the United States. He didn't own it before, but all of a sudden he's buying all of that. Saying, well, what's the deal? But put two and two together. Saying, supply, demand, and shortages. Hold it out so we can get some more paper off of this. But that's just my take on it. But think about it, and you take a look, and look how fast they did all of this. 2020, all this stuff happened, overnight. So, you be the judge, and, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it's just mine, It just, something smells awfully fishy, It just don't seem right, but that's just what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, yeah, they're going to try to drive this price up, higher and see how much they can get out of it, milk it, before they finally release it, to the masses, So, hey, like I said, hey, y'all better look at them companies, that's, producing this COVID-19 vaccination, because they're going to get their money one way or another. So, hey, you see the shortage going on, which means that demand has to go up, which means that the stocks got to go up. And as a result, eventually they will supply it, but it'll just be at a higher price. Anyway, that's all I have on this one for Snack Starts. Hey, share, please share my podcast, and also have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. That's EricBroadus YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. So when you get over there, hey, smash that bell to subscribe for any future live streams, podcasts, anything going on with Snack Thoughts, any other videos, and hit that like button, smash it. Leave comments. I love the dialogue, which if you don't like it, hey, hit that unlike button and still leave comments, interaction, it's all about discussion. And for Snack Starts, please join and subscribe and share. You can find me on Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker, Radio PBM, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and a host of other social media platforms. So share both, Eric Broadus YouTube and Snack Thoughts. Share it. Friends, enemies, frenemies, dogs, cats, bats, rats, goats, roaches, and the whole nine. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this one. But again, on this podcast of Snack Thoughts, supply, demand, and shortages. Think about it. Peace, guys. Catch you on the next one.